TK. We back in the saddle, doing our thing one more again. We've been away from y'all since back in April. Some things came and went, tried to do some things differently. We're back in it, and we going to do our little pick'em show for the NFL Week 4. TK, man, how you doing, man?
Life as well, man. Everything is good. Looking forward to making these picks, man. This NFL season has been pretty interesting to say the least thus far. So why not, man? Jump back in there and, get in the mix of things like everybody else.
That's it, man. That's it, man. And man, I'm rocking my little John Madden shirt, man. That's one of my guys, man.
Sure.
He coached the Raiders for a minute and won a Super Bowl, Hall of Famer, and one of the best commentators you ever want to see. And we lost him last year and stuff. And that's one of I'm a Cowboy fan, but I always love John Madden. That's my guy. So I rock his shirt every time I do NFL stuff and whatever and stuff. So that's rocking that, man. So we're gonna talk about the NFL, man. I think that's before we get into the next weeks, man. Anything from week 3 that stood out to you?
I mean, the obvious discourse around Tua Tagovailoa, I'd rather not get into that. I think there's so much discourse around it. You kind of don't need to pile on there. That's how I feel personally. But as far as actual games, man, as I go back here and look, Cowboys got the win. So, that's always a good thing around here.
A good thing in these parts. Makes for a nice, peaceful home around here, when they win. Everybody walking on eggshells when they lose around here, though, TK.
Yeah, no. I think Jameis, who's not playing this week, so the injury sustained in that game that they actually lost. I think that's probably going to be really important as far as implications in that division going forward. Something notable. KC, dropping a stinker in Indianapolis. That was weird.
Yeah.
A little strange, but pretty sure they're going to bounce back this week. As far as the actual game, Miami actually pulling off the win. I did, think that was going to happen.
It was yours. You had that one. You got that one. I was like, I wanted to pull the trigger, but I'm like, I can't quite do that, man.
Well, I know, of course, there's
now that you mentioned that game, I didn't mean to cut you off, but now that you mentioned that was a I'm gonna tell you something, TK. I've been watching football. I've been looking at, admiring football for about 40 years. I ain't never seen a game like that, where one team outgained the other team by like 350 yards.
Yeah.
Had possession like 41 to like 18 minutes, and one team throws the ball 63 times, and you still win. And a butt punt. I ain't never seen a butt punt before.
Yeah.
You go to rescue, you'll never see a butt punt. The up back gets so deep back into the backfield or whatever, and you only got 10 yards, and the guy kicks it right into the up back's butt, and it goes out. Like, dang, who blocked that? Oh, it didn't get blocked. It got.
Yeah, man. Couple upsets. Jacksonville putting 38 on the Chargers.
Yeah, Jacksonville, man. Jacksonville.
Even on the other end of it, the Chargers now, they obviously Justin Herbert's ribs is now even more injuries complicating their season. So they actually have a lot of key injuries going on right now. So I thought that was really interesting.
You see me get a little agitated, right?
Yeah.
Now, as much as we want to cry malfeasance in the tongue of our Lord thing, what's my man's name? What's the coach of the Chargers name? Dang it, I can't think of his name. You know me in names. What's
Brandon
his
Staley.
name? Brandon Staley. Dude, y'all down 38-10, 38-6 or whatever. Why is this dude still in the game? You know the guy's like got a ribs and cartilage is cracked or whatever. And I mean, he's being a gamer, but the game's out of reach. I mean, he shouldn't even play past like the third quarter. Okay, game's out of reach. I mean, you know, you do know this is like your franchise right here, you know. So, you know, I got that kind of had my blood boiling a little bit because I'm like, what are you doing, man? That's like one of those things where you got a guy that's got a team that he probably, you know, I'm not gonna knock him too bad, but you got a team that you really should be playing for the Super Bowl, maybe if everything goes right, and you kind of like, you know, coaching them right out of the thing. You know, they 1-2 now, so that was one that I didn't see coming in. And then probably one of the worst games I've ever seen was Sunday night, man, on an 11-10 game, and my man running out of the back of the end zone like he Dan Orlovsky. What the heck? What are we doing here? And then so he did a Dan Orlovsky and a Carson Wentz in the same play.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. Like he threw a pick six anyway, just for good measure. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, their complications are obvious. Fortunately for them, though, they do have a stellar creative mind over there that's you know had to do this before with Jimmy G.
So they say.
You know. So we'll see them in prime time, man. We'll see them in prime time on Monday night.
I had to play devil's advocate because he smartest man with a clipboard in his hand. But sometimes we'll get into that. But like I said, that was what of the week 3. It was a lot of good things, a lot of things I ain't never seen before, and then there was some crazy, like I said, the upsets Kansas City, special teams was completely abysmal, missing an extra point, missing a short kick, mishandling a punt, and trying to fake punt, and all of them blowing up. So if you look back at any of those things, that's probably the cause of why they're losing. You know, you can go, people like to look at offense or defense, but special teams is the thing that people a lot of times don't look at, and it'll definitely cost you a game if you ain't got that. But all right, let's go into week 4, and so we what else? Yeah, so let's go into that and let's see what games we got on the horizon for today. And surely, all right, so for our first game, I guess we just do it chronologically because they're gonna be playing this one in about like 12 hours. First game gonna be over in Wembley Stadium in
man, London, correct?
Yeah, sipping on tea and crumpets, my man. Sipping on tea and crumpets.
Hey, man, everybody to wake up to football. You know, that's always the incentive domestically.
Yeah.
Wake up, eat breakfast, and watch football.
That's it. That's actually not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
I think that kicks off about 9 o'clock our time. 9:30, something like that.
To be accurate, it's got 8:30 a.m. actually.
8:30. Okay. So we got the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints, man. I know you cited some injury things going on with that. I know like New Orleans got some things because I know Jameis might not play. I know Michael Thomas is not playing, and I know a lot of people. It's a lot of things going on with that game, man. Kamara's questionable. How you see that one, man?
Again, Jameis, Michael Thomas, left tackles already out for the season. I believe they lost someone else on the offensive line. I can't go Saints. Can't do it. It's a neutral site, so they don't have the advantage of playing at home in the Superdome. So, I'm going with Minnesota on the other side. Relatively healthy. Need a bounce back game. I know they beat the Lions, but the Lions pushed to the limit last week. Justin Jefferson, he's going to look to get active, and he'll be challenged by Marcus Lattimore. A lot in this game. So that'll bring the best out of him. Dalvin should, look to find some areas to attack at the second level of that defense.
Yeah.
I gotta go with Minnesota, man. That's where I'm at with it. I think, Andy Dalton, the center on the other side.
Yeah.
Thinking as long as Minnesota can, sort of move the ball down the field, break open a few plays, and put enough on the scoreboard, I don't think Andy Dalton respectfully could match that production. So that's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
What say you?
I'm TK. I got to go right with you on that, man. Andy Dalton. I mean, I done seen the Andy Dalton show before. A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I done seen that movie. It don't end too well, if you understand what I'm saying.
I got you.
That's one of them things. If Andy Dalton is your answer, the question better be pretty simple, okay? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just like I said. I looked at the injury report. Minnesota really, I think Dalvin Cook is questionable. Madison is playing. Jefferson, Thielen, and Osborne playing, and the lights are not too bright there. I mean, if the light's too bright, I worry about Kirk Cousins. If there's too many flash bulbs going, he turns into, I don't know. He turns into somebody else. So, I think with it, the pressure kind of being down. It's not a home or an away game. It's kind of like there's some people watching the game. And I think he'll perform well. And if that team, with the skill position people they got and the underrated defense they got, I think Zadarius Smith is cool too. I think Minnesota wins. I don't think it's close. I think they win by a couple scores. And so I concur with you. So I got Minnesota winning that one. All right.
Okay.
That sound good. That sound good
to me.
Right.
I do think it would take a personal account of experience from a player, but I actually would imagine playing in London, somewhere that doesn't have regular NFL football. They're gonna pack the stadium out. We're talking about fans who are probably just fans of individual players and sports.
Right.
I actually think, man, that could inspire butterflies in the stomach of players, just from a bigger sense of things, what it could represent as far as just, having to put on for your sport in general, wanting to put on a show and be productive in front of people who want to just embrace the sport. I would liken that to American players going and playing in Olympic competition, and you're getting a chance to play in front of, people from all over the world who don't normally just get to enjoy, basketball in their particular city or town. I think it's just, maybe if it's not necessarily nerves, might just inspire a different type of feeling, or motivation, I would say. But that's here nor there. Next up, man, what we got next?
We got the Cleveland Browns at the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this one kind of interesting to me because if you listen to the the talking heads and all the people that are the quote unquote the experts in the NFL. The Falcons are tanking, okay, but they actually have put a nice football package together the last few games. I mean, they could very easily be 2-1. What are they? Are they? They're 1-2 because they lost the opening game to the Saints, which they was up 16-0 and lost, and then they beat Seattle last week, right? Or week before last, and then they lost to the Rams last week, which they could have won. That game was, if Ramsey don't intercept that one in the end zone, we could be having a different discussion. So for a team that looks like they was tanking, they have not looked too bad to me. Mariota's just doing what he does, and offensive line is decent. Cordero Patterson is quietly one of the best football players in the league now, man. Receiving and catching. I've seen him jump over a guy. Oh, look at Cordero. And I know sometimes they have him returning kicks. He just kind of do everything. And then they got Kyle Pitts and Drake London. So they got some weapons, man. So I wouldn't sleep on them. Defenses, hit or miss or whatever. They got the AJ Terrell in the secondary and stuff. So I'm almost persuaded to pull the lever. They're playing at the Dome, at the Mercedes-Benz Dome. So what you think? What you thinking, TK? What are you thinking on this?
I'm definitely going Browns. I do like the Falcons. I think they're in a not necessarily unique spot, but definitely in an advantageous spot as a franchise. That, like to your point, they do produce well played games. They stay in games. They're at least thus far, they're not really getting blown out. On their own field or anybody else's field. They're coming and competing. And I guess from a larger standpoint, you tend to look at the draft and potential franchise quarterbacks or cornerstones in general as an ultimate goal, and you can't compete at the highest level, but it's still something to be said for those guys, all of those players and coaches still producing a respectable product every week. That offense definitely can make plays. They have playmakers on that offense. Mariota has performed pretty admirably thus far. And I'm definitely going Browns because I think ultimately they have something to still play for more so than the Falcons. But I expect a good game. So, if you're the Falcons fan, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get a product that you can enjoy on Sundays, but you kind of get a sense and you understand what the organizational position is as far as trying to make leaps and bounds over time. So so
right,
yeah,
winning and being competitive in the micro, but still keeping their eye on the macro is what they're kind of doing and everything. And of course, when you look at the Browns, probably the best 1-2 running back combo in the game with Chubb and Hunt. I think they're gonna eat up yards. Still not sold on Jacoby Brissett. I know he had a nice game against Steelers the other night. That was 10 days ago. So they got 10 days. I'm kind of troubled by Myles Garrett. Had a pretty bad car accident. It's talking about biceps and shoulder. I know Clowney's may play, may not play. I mean, having Garrett and not having Garrett is a very important factor in this game because he could quite possibly be one of the best or second best defensive line playing next to AD, Aaron Donald. So that's a big, if he's not able to play or if he's compromised in any way. I'm almost tempted to pull the lever on the Falcons, man. I'm almost willing to do it. You know what, man? What the heck? I'm going Falcons, man.
It is.
What the heck, man? I'm going to be contrarian. I'm going Falcons, man. Falcons in the upset. They win, late field goal. Young Hoo Kim, I think that's his name. I don't want to mispronounce the dude's name. Kicks a winning field goal as time expires. Falcons win like 28-27 or something like that. Or 23-20 or something like that. Okay. All right. So got those down. The next one, we're gonna. Well, this is one that's I'd like to save for last, but let's go on and get her on out of the way.
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys. That's a 12 o'clock game. So
okay.
Usual time slot for my boys. And everybody say I'm rocking the Cowboy stuff, and that's I bleed blue and silver. Everybody that knows me say, yeah, he bleed blue and silver and stuff like that. So we usually got the 2 time slot. If it ain't prime time, those are the time slots we often occupy. Very seldom do you see us occupy the 12 o'clock time slot. So we'll see how that works. I'll go ahead and start this one. I'm concerned about this game, TK, and I'm going to tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys are a strange animal, man. And, I can talk about my kids. Nobody else can talk about it.
Yeah.
They're a strange animal, man, because when nobody is expecting stuff from them, oh, man, nobody's expecting them to beat Cincinnati. And they go and they play a good game. It's up 17-3. They played kind of nonchalant football down the stretch, kind of like played not to lose, almost lost it. But, I mean, they was dominating. It was 17-3. And, okay, they're playing the Giants on the road, first road game with a quarterback, but, that's not the starter. They're 2-0. It was a pick 'em. They win that. Now the hype machine starts. Yeah, here's the hype machine. And see, if we were an organization that was ran by people that had football as the main priority and not, I wouldn't be worried about it. Okay. And not to drag other teams into the scenario, but just to give you context. We see like a week ago, we saw the Steelers and Browns play. All right. We see that Mitch is not playing well. That's obvious. If you see in football, you see he's not playing well. They got a second round pick over there that's been homegrown, got a nice arm. Everybody's clamoring for him. Obviously, he's got the Bruins of a quarterback controversy. What does Mike Tomlin say in the press conference? Oh, they don't even answer that question. Mitch Trubisky's our quarterback, and that's because he understands that in the locker room, solidarity needs to be had, and everybody needs to know how things are going to be ran. Now, see, our organization is ran off of the hype machine, and Jerry is the ringmaster. He runs the machine. So once you win a couple of games, we run the type of organization where, when the expectations are a little elevated, we tend to kind of underdeliver. So I'm kind of concerned about this week's game. And the other part of it is that, what people fail to realize is that, oh man, they're going to kill the Commanders. People fail to realize the guys on the other side of the field, they get a check too. Okay, they're professionals too. They got pride too. They didn't heard all week, man. Y'all stink. Y'all got the worst offensive line in football, and you got probably the most dangerous pass rusher. This side of LT, and he didn't get a sack last week, so he. Okay, here we go. And he hungry. So you think they ain't heard all that? So yeah. So you think, like, for instance, everybody thought that the coach in the NFL, they scored like like 20 points in 2 games. And they come out and they had an inspired game last week to beat the Chiefs. Who knew? So that's what I'm saying. So having said all that, I think the Washington football team is going to play a good game. They're going to come at us. They're going to hit us in the mouth. We're going to be down for most of the game, but I think we'll have a drive late in the game, and I think we'll kick a field goal late to win it like 24, like 20, 24-21. That's what I think. I think it's going to be tough, and I think it could go the other way because I think that because the line will tell you if they were as bad as they said they are, and they're coming to our building, they should be a 6 or 7 point underdog. But it's basically a pick 'em because you get 3 points for being a home participant. They give you 3, and it's a 3.5 point spread. So that tells you that we feel like Washington not as bad as they showed, and maybe the Cooper Rush pumpkin turns back into a pumpkin. That's what I'm trying to say. So, but I think we pull it out late and we win. But I think it's a hard fought game. If we ain't ready, we can get beat. What say you?
I mean, all that being said, I have the Cowboys. I think this is an opportunity for Trayvon Diggs to maybe, catch a few of them.
Carter will give you a couple now. He definitely give you a couple.
I say that to say that. So, I don't expect the Cowboys to necessarily overwhelm the Commanders. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, Cooper Rush is doing a great job being serviceable and winning games. But, we know, or at least we have a general idea of what his peak could look like in this position. So, I think it's more about just winning games as many as possible and being serviceable in that position. And he's done so thus far. So I always think there's this potential for that Washington front 4, front 7, sort of, get things going and wreak some havoc. Mm-hmm. So there's always that potential. Same can be said on the other end, though. On the opposing side of the field.
Right.
Micah and crew can definitely wreak some havoc as well. So, to your point, man, I think it's a close one. 3 points seem pretty fair to me. But, if either Wentz or Rush put a couple in the air for grabs, then, things could take a turn for the opposing side. So, I'll say that. But I do have to.
Let me say this, because a lot of people say, man, you'll never get a Cowboy no praise. You always browbeating them. I think I heard you say that once.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man, I'm gonna say this, man. I think our defense is playing tremendous football right now.
Absolutely.
I think Dan Quinn is in the daggum lab, stirring up different ways I can move Parsons around different places you never thought he'd line up. What are you doing coming from that gap? I think that, and then people can talk about, well, he didn't get a sack. Yeah, but Darnell Armstrong got 2, and D. Lawrence got 3.
That's what it's about.
And you got to factor in that's the Micah effect, because they got tight ends helping the left tackle, right tackle, got the backs chipping, and then you leave the other side open. And of course, now I'm gonna have to say this too. I mean, much as it hurt me to say this about a Bama player, Evan Neal's a freaking turnstile. I hate to say it. I bleed crimson and white like I bleed blue and silver. Evan, come on, dude. He a turnstile, man. He's just spinning around, guys. Oh man, I didn't know you was back there. It's too much of that, man. And if I had to think right now, who made the better first round pick of left tackle, I would have to go with Tyler Smith. I would have never have thought that at the beginning of the season, but he's played pretty well in the role he's playing. I think he's been helped. Jason Peters is playing next to him at guard, and I think that's worked out well because you wouldn't. It's not a terrible thing to have like a 15, 16-year veteran right next to you to kind of give you a little tip and to keep your hands here, keep your feet at this level, keep your pad level at this level. That's just good to have a guy, a vet like next to you and stuff like that. So I think he's benefiting from that. And I think everybody on the team has raised their level. They know number 4 is not playing, so they've raised their level. So I'm giving them some praise. Everybody can get off of me now. I give them a little bit every now and then, but if you got kids, you can't give them too much sugar. You got to give them a little. Can't everything can't be candy and lollipops. So you got to sometimes you got to All right, then. So now that I've said that, let's go on to our 4th game. For our 4th game is going to be the Seahawks at the Detroit Lions. I'll let you take the lead on that one.
You missed the game. We'll get to it. But we'll get to it. But one thing, man, as far as Evan Neal, just so it's said, man, give guys a chance to develop. Criticism is easy to do, but I remember a lot of things were said about Andrew Thomas, and with time he figured that out. So
I think it was the same thing. They were saying he was a bust.
I
think I said.
I would caution, give guys a chance to figure it out, man. These young guys, young professionals. Sometimes the learning curve is just different for some people.
True. This is true.
I
still got you, Gary, because we rolled out together. But I have been disappointed by him. I'm gonna stand by that. I was like, man, I wish we could have got him. And I'm like, maybe maybe we developing guys better than other teams. And I never thought I would say that either, because I thought Tyler Smith was a project. I'm like, he's gonna take a couple of years for develop. He ain't gonna be ready. And they doing something okay over there. I give them a little bit, man. I give them something. I'm always waiting for something to blow up, though. So I better not say too much. Let me be quiet on that. Let's go on to the next game.
All right, man. Seattle and Detroit. I've been waiting for a week that I could pick the Detroit Lions. As you know, I really like what they got going on over there. Granted, Amon-Ra St. Brown is out. Won't be playing.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite dudes too. Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's the dude right there, man.
But that being said, still at home, Ford Field. I like this Lions team, man. I like where they're headed. So I get a week where I can pick them. I'm gonna take this week to do that. So I got the Lions, and I don't have a whole bunch of logistical reasons. It's half emotional.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, TK. I am, and really, if you look at the numbers, it would probably tell you we probably shouldn't pick the Lions, because I think DeAndre Swift, I think it may be out, and St. Brown might be out. I know St. Brown is definitely out. I think Swift may be questionable, and I know they got Jamal Williams. I think that's his name. Jamal Williams, the other back, he's pretty good too now. They got a nice 1-2 punch as well. Swift is good out of the backfield too. He's pretty much a, whatever you need kind of back, man. I kind of like what they're doing with him. And like I said, they got there's a certain energy about the Lions, and I just don't get that with the Seahawks, man. I just really don't. I even with the injuries, I just like the energy that the Lions bring. Even when they lose, they should have won the game last week. And I love the way the coach kind of look, man, I lost them this game. I'm like, the players ate that up. They're like, coach, we played, but we appreciate you jumping on the hook for us like that. Because he did call for the field goal, and he could have just went for it. Or did, yeah. And, whatever, man. And like I said, I think they led that game for the whole game and lost it in the end. I think KJ Osborne caught a late touchdown to put them up 28-21. So, Lions been in every game. In every game.
They have
been in every game. You could have said they could have won every one of them. The Eagles were up on them early and had to grit their teeth to hold on and win that one. And so even with all the injuries and stuff, I think I'm still gonna take the Lions. I think the Lions will win down there at home. and I think they want to redeem themselves for that last week. And I think Seattle falls to 1-3 or whatever. They won their first game, which they shouldn't have won that. They should be 0-4. But that's who's talking. So I got the Lions as well. All right.
Man. So it's a game you missed, man, and it's a pretty important one.
What's that?
So you glazed over a game, man, and it's quite important, actually.
Oh no, I'm just going over. I got them in two different categories. I got two. Put so many on here, so I'm gonna go to the next set of 12 o'clock games.
Got you.
And I'm gonna go Titans and Colts next, which I know that's one that's dear to you. So I'm gonna let you take the lead on that one.
Oh yeah, I don't have a lot for it.
They snuck you one last week, TK. They got you one last week. You bet it against them. They got you one last week, man.
Yeah, they won.
Come on, give them a little sugar, man. Come on, man, give them a little bit.
Nah, not really. I am going to pick them to win this game. I am going to pick them to win this game.
Okay.
But that's all I got for, to be honest.
Wow. Okay. The Taylor Lewan injury is major. He's one of the better offensive left tackles in the game. Yeah, I want to say he's in the top 5 of left tackles in the game. Mean, nasty, get after it, and you want a guy like that. And he lost for the season. That's major. A team that likes to run the football, you want your left tackle in there. So that's hurtful, but I kind of like the grit that the Titans put. And I think Matt Ryan's good days behind him. I think they won last week's game on smoke and mirrors. I love Jonathan Taylor, but their defense is pretty. I like their defense a little bit. They got some nice players on defense. I don't know if Michael Pittman's playing. No, he's missed some games. They're better receivers. They got a good offensive line. But like I said, I think Matt Ryan's days are kind of good of being an excellent quarterback. I know he's got experience and all that, but really ain't seen a good Matt Ryan in a while. I think his sand will start coming out of his hourglass when it was 28-3 in the Super Bowl, and it's kind of been going downhill for him ever since. That being said, I'm gonna go with the Titans. I think Derrick Henry has a nice game, and Tannehill has a couple of touchdown passes, and I think the Titans win that one. That's where I'm going with that one.
Right? Man, I think it'll be a close one. Taylor, respecting him, constantly pro and a Titan, probably won't play again for the Titans, honestly. But I think his loss, as far as actual production on the field, may be a lot more reputation than production as of late. But at the same time, it's something to be said for losing a leader, on the field. So
true. That's true.
But they'll feel the loss regardless. But I feel like for both teams, in both cases, on both sides, in division game, you need to win this game. These two teams are going to meet again 2 weeks from tomorrow. So, it's like you kind of need to win this one. You got a quick turnaround before you see each other again. And, season series over with a lot left to go. So splitting is always ideal, but I think, playing each other this early in the season 2 times in 3 weeks kind of puts the impetus on both sides to go ahead and hold serve and get one of these games. So, in some ways you could even call it a mirror match. Both teams, on the boundary, it's kind of hit or miss. 2 excellent running backs.
Mm-hmm.
I think both defenses are pretty solid, especially the Indianapolis case. Definitely came out this year with a sense of urgency on that end. I think, you got two quarterbacks who have been very productive in this league before. Maybe not as much these days, but, two guys that have won a lot of games. So I'll give those guys their respect in that regard. What happens, man? I mean, Matt Ryan has the job of, trying to get young receivers going and make them proven. And so does Ryan Tannehill. So
yeah. Good point.
In that way, man, it's really a mirror match to me, and it's just a matter of, I think the Colts' offensive line is probably far superior to Tennessee's in comparison. But both of them are going to look to establish the run and keep the other team on the sideline and do their best to control this game. So we'll see who ultimately takes the tug of war in that. But I think it's pretty, vanilla in that sense, man. We can go ahead and move forward.
Okay. We both got the Titans on that one, right? Got the Titans. Next, we got, we ain't going to talk a whole lot about this one. The Bears at the Giants. Bears got 2 wins. That's about what I can say for them. People can camp all they want on Justin Fields. I don't think Justin Fields has been put in a good situation. I don't think the offensive sets and what they've supplied him with as far as offensive line talent as well as skill position talent. I mean, many chances he's out there trying to wing it. You don't want young quarterbacks winging it. And that's just my opinion. But kids got a little moxie, but it's a lot going on. There's a lot of things moving at the same time, and I don't know if he has that calming effect around. I don't know if they, even what they're saying to him is doing that, and certainly not with the accompaniment that's around him. I don't see. I mean, the fact that they got 2 wins, they played the 49ers in the monsoon and got that win, and played the Houston Texans and they got that win. And of course, they got mollywopped by the Green Bay Packers. So they're 2-1 and leading the division. But defense is decent. I like what's the kid's name out of Georgia? He's a great linebacker, man. What's that kid's name?
Roquan Smith.
Roquan Smith. Yeah, he's nice, man. Eddie Jackson. They got the defense. The defense going to get you out of so much, and they got a defensive head coach that can, So the defense is solid. They play solid. So, but I just can't see them beating the Giants. I know a lot of people don't have a lot for the Giants. I saw them play Monday night. Many might not say that was a good game. I thought it was a well-played game, a well-coached game. Danny Dimes does what he does. He's not, if you keep the questions simple, he can answer the questions. Don't make the thing too complicated. Don't make him have to thread a needle or anything like that. And if he gets a chance to take off, he can, like he jumped through the window on us a couple times. They can end up with like 79 yards on 9 carries. So that's the thing you got to worry about with him. And for the amount of pressure, he got like 26 pressures, which is the most any big team ever got in a game this year. He really didn't put the ball in harm's way until at the end. So, I don't know if that's good coaching, or he got lucky, or whatever the case might be. But they didn't play a bad football game. And what I saw from them on Monday night, if they play anywhere near to their capability on Sunday, I see them beating the Bears. And that's my take on that.
Yeah, man. It's kind of a pick 'em to me. I really like the Bears defense. The issues associated with their offense has been overstated. No need for me to pile on. Work in progress on that side. I do really like Justin Fields, though.
Yeah,
As
I
a
do.
quarterback in this league. I think the assignment for him is it is what it is. You kind of, I do like their running back combination with David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert. I think he's pretty solid in the backfield with those two guys. And it's just about, he's been tasked, unfortunately, with the early assignment in his career to kind of pull wins out of his butt, and just make stuff happen. And that's the hand he's been dealt. So, could he do it? Possibly. I'm not going to bet that he would. I'm definitely going to take my pick to the Giants at home. I think they're being well coached. I think they have a sense of belief in the organization and the system, similar to what Dan Campbell's instituting in Detroit. To me, Dayball's having that type of effect on his team. Guys are brought in. Tough to see Sterling go down last week, man.
Yeah, that was tough to see. Yeah, you're right, man. That was tough.
Really hated to see that, man.
Nobody touched him either. It just hate to see that. Yeah.
But on a lighter note, Saquon is still healthy and rejuvenated, and Danny, similar to Jeff Fields, Danny can plays, get out of the pocket, and take off if your linebackers are looking down the field. So I'm going with New York. It's a pick 'em, man. Maybe Justin puts on the cape and gets it done, but I'll just take the home team. Simply said. What's next, man?
The next one is like, man, this is a juicy one here, man. This is the second juiciest game of the week, man, and the juiciest one comes after that one. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Philadelphia Eagles, and hey, man, I think you may called it, man. I would see in Jacksonville being decent at all. I really didn't. I mean, I know they got a bunch of good draft picks. They got a bunch of young players. People pulled the rug out on Trevor Lawrence last out, man. That dude was like the best player in the country for like several years for a reason. I think he was not, put in a good situation. Like I think there's a lot of distractions going on with the thing last year with Urban Meyer, and I think I think he got caught up in a lot of things with that back and forth with that, and with a young quarterback, you want to sail in the smooth as possible, man. And just like I was telling you about Justin Fields, you want this sailing for the and I think Doug Peterson is providing that, and what he's putting around Trevor Lawrence allows him to do what he's always done and just play football and be excellent at that, make his throws and just be the golden boy he's always been. And he's played well this year, and he's got some nice weapons around him. James Robinson. I don't know if Etienne has played any this season or not, but
he has.
That's a kid. If that dude get a gap, you can call band. If he get a gap, he's one of those type of guys. And then you got some good receivers. You got Kirk, and you got some nice weapons. So it's just a matter of putting it all together. Defense is underrated. Trey. What's the kid's name? The first pick in the entire draft. Kind of underrated, playing his game. Jacksonville is not to be slept on. But they playing the Philadelphia Eagles at used to be called at the Vet. I think it's called Lincoln Financial now. But And the Eagles might be the best team in the NFL right now, playing right now. Jalen Hurts is like, they said, he can't throw the football, he can't do this. And I love the way Nick Sirianni's crafted an offense around your quarterback and around his skill sets. And that's what coaching that ultimately is. You don't try to make a guy do what he can't do or what he's not good at. You find what he's good at and you fit your stuff around that. That's the essence of coaching. A lot of coaches like try to make a square peg fit a round hole. And I just don't know why you want to do that. There's a way to play that Jalen Hurts is excellent at, and he's unlocked that. And good luck stopping him. Devontae Smith is doing, catching the first game. I think he had 7 in the second game. He had like 8 last week for like 112 yards or something like that, and a touchdown. You got AJ Brown, who's just a beast. And, so then you got Goddard at tight end. You got, I think Boston Scott's one of their reserve running backs is not going to play, but you got Miles Sanders. Man, I'd like to see Jacksonville, man. I'd like to see that, but I can't pull the trigger, man. I can't do it. I was going to tell you Jacksonville. As a matter of fact, I came on the show saying Jacksonville's going to pull the upset. Call me chicken bleak, man. I can't pull it. I got to go with the Eagles.
All right, well, a couple of things, man. Trevor Lawrence has been a superior, excellent quarterback for a very long time. Nothing's changed, media narratives are pretty much the only thing that did. The Jacksonville Jaguars have, and that's the result of being at the bottom of the barrel for years and years and years. They've had the opportunity to draft pick their way into a lot of talent, especially on the defensive side. And I've heard a couple media pundits or personalities speak on it already. So I was on it, and I see a couple people talking about it. This will be a close game, man. That defense of Jacksonville is going to challenge Jalen Hurts. They have the athleticism to keep him within the line of scrimmage and keep him within the tackle box and make him make decisions. They have athleticism and range at cornerback. Tyson Campbell is a very talented young cornerback. He'll probably be matched up with AJ on the outside a lot. I think we'll get a chance to really see how that offensive line of Philly holds up with a real challenge, because Jacksonville is going to bring a lot of athleticism to the table, and they're going to look to get a push from their front seven. And I don't have this as a game of the week, but it's a very fun game that I'm definitely personally will be watching it. I think here's an opportunity for Devontae Smith, which he took advantage of last week as well. When they send a lot of guys over the top for AJ, Devontae can get underneath and really make some stuff happen. It's kind of the advantage of having that 1-2 combo. So I expect again a repeat of that again this week for Devontae to see a lot of looks, be that blanket for Jalen. Jalen may find himself under duress a little bit, especially if Philly struggles to establish the run with Miles Sanders early. He could be under a lot of duress, Jalen. I'm like you. I guess I'm going to bow out and not pick Jacksonville because they're on the road. But I want to, but
you like me. You like me.
Yeah, in that sense, yeah. But at the same pace, man, I really love what Philadelphia is doing. They found something that works. on the offensive side. Defensively, they have, plenty of depth and athleticism as well. Um, I love their cornerback tandem. So we'll see if Kirk can, he'll have a challenge on either side, whether it's Slay or Brett or James Bradbury. So um, give me the Eagles, man. It'll be a close, good game. Probably as far as results based, probably be one of the top 3 or 5 games on Sunday. I'll take the Eagles.
Now, to add to them, we're gonna go on to our next game, but you mentioned something. That they've become a good team based on, they've been at the bottom of the barrel for, ever since the AFC Championship game back in like 17. They've been one of the worst teams, and they've turned that into, Lawrence to Travis Etienne. They've turned that into Caleb Vaughn Chason. They've turned that into Walker. Turned it into that guy, and all of those draft picks and stuff that they've been able to accumulate over the year. But they also spent about $200 million in free agency in the off season. Picking up guys Christian Kirk, and picking up guys like Zay Jones, and picking up guys like Brandon Schreff. I think that's his name. The right guard from the Washington Commanders that they picked up, and so they spent some money too. So and I think that's a good marriage, drafting well, and then you sprinkle in some free agents and stuff like that. And I think it's kind of working. It's kind of working for them. So that's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Yeah, for sure.
The next game is probably the game of the day, in my opinion. You might not feel the same, but I know you do. I know you do, because we think along the same line. It's going to be the Buffalo Bills at the Baltimore Ravens. That's going to be the game of the day right there.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Two MVP candidates going at each other.
There it is.
Yeah. So I'm going to let you go first.
Hey, man, this is the one game of the week by far, as far as I'm concerned. Josh Allen going into the bank with Action Jackson. I expect a show tomorrow. It's kind of, and I've heard a lot of people say it's kind of strange for this to be at 12 o'clock. You kind of think this would be prime time, but considering who's actually playing in that, yeah, I get it. But that being said, that's not going to stop me from watching nonetheless. This is the one, man. I'm gonna keep it plain. I'm going with Action Jackson at home. But man, I expect Josh Allen to absolutely thrive in this game. I expect them both to push each other. They're both going to be. This is really like an early season opportunity for both to sort of put their MVP stamp on their season and create a signature moment or two. To sort of, it's kind of like having a Heisman moment or whatever. I'm hoping on Lamar's end he can get Ronnie Stanley back for this one. I know as far as defensively for Baltimore, they do have, most of that unit active and healthy. Good for them. Unfortunately for Buffalo, they do have some key guys. Jordan Phillips along the defensive line. As we know, Micah Hyde is done for the year. Jordan Poyer may actually not play. So they've been managing injuries for the entirety of the season thus far, 4 games in, and they'll have to do so again tomorrow. But all that being said, I love the Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Humphrey, Marcus Peters. Look at the back end for Baltimore, Marcus Williams and the Rook, Hamilton. They're coming along as far as just gaining continuity. Yeah, man. I'm picking Baltimore at home to win. But I expect fireworks from both quarterbacks, and it could really come down to which team can, establish the run more, and that'll be Buffalo's challenge because I think that'll be Baltimore's primary advantage in terms of them being able to demonstrate more consistently the ability to with their running backs. So the pressure is definitely on for Buffalo to take the ball out of Josh Allen's hands for 60 plus attempts. That's way too much. So I think if they can find a way to manage that and establish some run game, either way, I think it's a great game, regardless, a close game that goes down to the wire. But as far as winning the game, I think that'll be very important for both ends. And I think Baltimore ends up doing that a little bit better. And I think they get the win, man.
Yeah. First of all, like we said, man, Buffalo. I mean, that's just let you know how the gruel and the grind of the NFL season. Because, like, maybe two Buffalo was a can't miss, and I'm not saying they're not a can't miss now. It's just a lot when the injuries come in, it changes the whole complexion of the game. It just kind of does. It's, when people say, "Well, that's part of the game," they're not lying. That's a part of the game that has to be taken into consideration. When you start talking about Phillips, and you start talking about Poyer and Micah Hyde, who to me is the best safety tandem in the NFL. Putting in guys behind them, which the Buffalo Bills have a good system. But you can't replace dudes like Poyer and Hyde. The next guy is not dudes or they be starting. I mean, I know that sounds simple, but it's the truth. So that makes Buffalo a little vulnerable in the middle of the field, a little bit. I mean, and that kind of hurts them in the pass rush. So, but I still think Josh Allen's going to do it. My only thing about the Buffalo Bills What do you have to do?
Nothing. There you go.
What you hit?
You saw those things right there.
What things?
Right there, they were red. They were red.
How can you like start over? How you start over?
Fred, you were live. You were live.
Yeah, but can you like delete it?
No, you were live. Oh my God, Fred, you were live. That was going straight out.
Well, if I ended it, well, see, I had ended it.
You were done?
Oh no, we weren't done, but it was nothing. So you can't really.
Let's start back up. They said we had some technical difficulties. Let's start back up. I'm gonna take this food to her. I thought everybody was taking so long today. Everything.
Okay, but hey, hold on. How do I get the camera flipped? It's flipped.
What's flipped?
Because I'm looking back there.
Yeah, look. I always go to your settings, Fred. Video. Oh, okay, there you go.